G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to pit the 2012 V-Strom Suzuki 650 against the 2010 Kawasaki KLR650. We'll do some specs and we'll take them both for a ride. Let's get into it. So both of these bikes can be found around the same price range. Anywhere from, you can pick up cheap ones for $2,000 that aren't registered and might need some work. If you are trying to get something that's kitted up, ready to go, they can go as high as about $6,000, maybe a little bit more if you're pushing it, find a really low mileage one. If you're looking to get into the ADV market, both of these bikes are a good, cheap first option. That way, if you ride a few times, you don't like it, you are most certainly guaranteed to get your money back, as they really aren't depreciating very much in value at the moment. We'll show you some specs. So the V-Strom over here is a 645cc, 90-degree twin cylinder engine, liquid cooled, while the KLR is a single cylinder engine, 651cc. Now this has 42 horsepower, which as far as 650 goes, it's one of the lowest, whereas the V-Strom is punching out 68 horsepower and it is a fair bit quicker than the old KLR. You know, 2 cylinders versus 1. This thing's got heaps of pickup, whereas this will still go and pick up, just not quite as easily as the V-Strom. So the V-Strom's strong suit over the KLR is it does have a lot more power. So the weight of the V-Strom, 214 kilograms. It's quite heavy, adventure bikes are heavy. The weight of the KLR, 196 kilos, still, you know, fairly heavy. I struggle to lift it up, as I've said in other videos. If it's on its side, it's definitely on my limit. I'm guessing I'd be lucky to get this one up by myself too. So the seat height on the V-Strom is 32.9 inches. Or 835 millimeters. The seat height on the KLR is 35 inches or 890 millimeters. So there is a bit of a difference there. I find that the V-Strom seat is a lot more comfortable. It's a bit wider and it sort of cushions you and, you know, nestles you into the seat. And there's also a good spot back here for a pillion too. The KLR, it's basically a bit of a big, thick dirt bike seat. So you sit on it the same as a dirt bike basically, and if you have a pillion on the back, they're on that same seat with you, so they sort of end up sliding into you. They'll have to keep pushing themselves back, but it's capable, it will do it. Comfort-wise, definitely the V-Strom on the road. Kawasaki's comfortable enough. I've done some long trips on it. My dad's done some long trips on this. We haven't had any problems. So ground clearance on the V-Strom, 6.9 inches or 175 millimeters, which is more than a sports bike. You know, it's still fairly good. You just have to be careful if you end up in rougher terrain. The KLR, again, it's a big dirt bike. The ground clearance is 8.3 inches, 211 millimeters. So there's a bit more height there, but still nothing wrong with the old V-Strom. The V-Strom, 20-litre fuel tank, and you're expected to get 22 to 25 kilometres out of a litre of fuel. So the KLR has a 22-litre fuel tank, and you'll be averaging 19 to 22 kilometres per litre of fuel. So fuel injection, twin cylinder, it's going to do things a bit easier. Single cylinder, carburetted, bit thirsty. Carburetors are obviously a bit older, so they're not quite as good on fuel. The V-Strom suspension travel, 5.9 inches in the front and 6.3 inches in the rear with damping and preload adjustment. So it's still got a bit, obviously it's not the same as a dirt bike, but it's still got plenty of travel, and you really don't want to take it off-road too rough. You'll bottom it out. I bottomed this thing out once or twice. It has got a bit more travel. So the suspension travel in the front is 7.9 inches. And 7.3 in the rear. Same thing, dampening and preload adjustment, which is something that you want to play with your weight, how you want the bike to feel. It's something that you need to figure out as a buyer, how you want your bike to feel and what you are actually planning on doing. The general consensus is that the V-Strom is going to tear this thing apart on the road. That's not to say that it can't go on the road. The KLR can go on the road. It's more comfortable, more punchy, less work to get up to 100. This will get up to 100 like that. You won't even have to pull the throttle, you know? If you want this thing to get it moving, you have to wrench the throttle and power through the gears. It'll sit at 100 okay. It'll be a bit higher in the revs. This thing will sit at 100 all day and just purr along. Not much vibration. This will have vibration. It'll still do it, not as comfortable as the V-Strom. The V-Strom is really, really strong on the road. So the V-Strom it's known for its reliability, amazing on the bitumen in every aspect: power, comfort, sitting or above 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles per hour, limited vibration in the handlebars and foot pegs, not quite as good as the KLR off-road. The KLR is also known for its reliability. It's okay on the bitumen, comfort, and sitting at 100. And then again, you take this off-road, it's gonna be a little bit better than the V-Strom. So all in all, they're both great, budget-friendly, highly modifiable motorcycles, both around the same amount to purchase second-hand. So that's the specs for you. We'll take both of them down the highway. I'll give you a point of view of both of them, and we'll do a little bit of dirt roads. I'll show you how they both handle, and then hopefully you'll get a good idea, if you're looking to purchase one, which one might be for you. We'll go for a ride. All right, here we are on the V-Strom, guys. This is the cockpit view. Gets fairly wide here, but you don't notice it when you're riding. Sitting fairly upright. Reach out to the handlebars is quite good. I'm 5'10", and I'm easily flat foot. Yeah, probably both legs are flat footing. The only thing that's kind of not letting me fully flat foot is it's a bit wide. But other than that, quite a comfortable place to be, good protection. Yeah. As you can see, the dash, there's your speedo. It's a bit more modern than the KLR, your revs, your time, your fuel, trip, temperature, fuel gauge is full. So yeah, it's quite smooth to ride, so I'll kick it down into first. Little clunk so you know it's in. Sounds quite nice. Gentle off the clutch. Very responsive. Yeah, it's got ample power. I'm probably leant forward just a little bit, so. But yeah, it's quite comfortable to ride. Smooth. The power delivery is smooth. We'll take it on the highway, and I'll show you what it's got left sitting at 100 and how easily it gets to 100. Brakes quite well. Treat it with respect, and it'll do everything you need it to do plus more. All right, so we're sitting at the lights, about to jump on the freeway. My boots are a little too big. All right. But what are we at? We're 100. So you've got more than enough power. I won't say what we just got up to get up to highway speeds in a flash. Sitting at 100, jump over, up into 6th. There's 100 there. It's a little bit out, so we'll go just above. We're sitting at 4,800, 900 revs. but it could sit here all day. Barely any vibration in the handlebars, barely any vibration at my feet. Yeah, it's just a nice place to be. Very good wind protection, nothing's hitting my helmet. I think I can feel it there. Staying in 6th, if I pull the throttle back, easily picks up. No worries at all with power. Don't even have to think about it. It does it with absolute ease. Yep, sit here all day quite happily. If I kick it down to 5th, it'll take off. See? There's that twin cylinder power. It's just beautiful, smooth. It'll just go when you want it to, without even trying. I noticed with this bike you even creep up in the speed and you don't even mean it. So more than capable, more than happy, more than comfortable on the highway and around town. So here's my positioning on the V-Strom. My legs are a bit more bent. It's a bit wider up at the tank, but the seat's a lot shorter and I'm leant forward just a tiny bit more than the KLR. Still though, very, very comfortable bike to be on.
So the V-Strom 650 is a really forgiving bike. It's got plenty of power when you want it, but it's not the kind of bike that's constantly screaming at you to use all of it. You can just cruise along like this, nice and steady, and it feels completely under control. The throttle is smooth, the power delivery is predictable, and it's easy to keep it in check. Honestly, it's the kind of bike that won't scare off a new rider, but it still has enough punch to keep you smiling as your skills grow.
Alright, so we're about to hit the dirt. I'll just show you the tyres, I didn't show them before. Metzeler Karoo 4s. They're quite chunky, purposely purchased to go off-road basically. The back ones, very, very chunky. They are a bit noisy on the road, but you get that. Alright, let's go. Sunglasses on. God, that sounds nice, doesn't it? So it's fairly well used though, dirt road. So it's not too slippery. But it, with these tyres, it literally just doesn't feel like much. I think we've got a bit of a corner up here. Yeah, it doesn't bother it at all. A few bumps, a bit of loose gravel, it's fine. Tight corner. Handling it quite well, almost at the end. Yeah, very nice. We'll go back and do a Yui. All right, we'll attack it again. Quite smooth still, even on the bumpy road. No complaints. I mean, this stuff, you do it all day as well. It's fine. Plenty of power. Let's see how she stops. Yep, real good. No complaints for me. Love the power. It's just so smooth. Delivers it so nicely. Yeah, corner's fine on the dirt. Stops fine, especially with these tyres. Plenty of confidence on the dirt. Yeah, no worries at all. See how balanced it is. Yeah, fine. Went off camber, but that's just the road. There you go. Yeah, would recommend. It's fine. It's absolutely fine on dirt roads. Just make sure you have the proper tyres. Probably don't hit the dirt too much if you've just got road tyres. They're just not built for it. That's the only thing that would stop you. You still can go on these sorts of roads with dirt tyres. You just have to be very careful because it will get a bit slippery. If you go around corners too fast, accelerate too fast, it will just spin up, especially with the power of this thing. So yeah, as long as you're cautious. The only thing that would let this down is if you probably wouldn't mean it, but it might bottom out if you go over some big bumps. Other than that, very capable. For $4,000 or $5,000, you really can't go wrong. If you want to get into ADV riding, the V-Strom's perfectly fine. Yeah, so we'll head back. I'll grab the KLR and we'll do the same route and I'll show you the differences. Alright, here we are in the cockpit of the KLR. So, my feet, I can flat foot one at a time. Not, sort of both at a time. But definitely not as bent legs. Pretty much straight. Again, the seat's a bit wide. So don't take that into consideration, but still thinner, a bit thinner than the V-Strom and a bit thinner up here too. More dirt bikey feel vibes. Obviously, like I've said, it's not going to be as good for the road. This is aftermarket. Got good wind protection. I think wind protection's a major thing on bikes. If you buy one, you'll find out pretty quick. Traveling down the freeway with that windshield, not that fun. But yep, the gauges, bit older, not as modern, pretty simple. There's your tacho, your revs, your temp. That's about it. Your high beams, your indicators, your neutral light. Very simple. Yeah, that's why it's less to go wrong, bit reliable. Definitely different sound too, you'll notice as I take off. Single cylinder. You can almost hear every thump. But again, if you just be smooth, it'll treat you well. It'll do everything that you needed to do on the road. Obviously, a bit less power than the V-Strom. Bit of a different body positioning. Like, to me, this feels very dirt bikey, which is fine for me. That's what I'm used to. There goes labouring a bit there. So go down a gear, nice and gentle. Will still pull. Like, it's not a slug. It's not like it's a 4-cylinder car. It'll still go. It's just not as easy as the V-Strom. So same route as before. We're going to head down to the highway, just down here. still got enough pickup to keep you happy. Sitting quite comfortably at about 80 at the moment. In 5th, whereas the V-Strom has 6 gears, that's why it's a bit smoother on the highway also. This only has 5. So I'll back off a bit and I'll just show you. It still doesn't have a problem getting up to 100. So we're doing 40 kilometers an hour at the moment. Go down into 2nd, punch it. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So we get up to 120. It takes a bit of work. You know, you've really got to use all the power that you have available to you to get up there quickly. I can definitely feel a bit more vibration in the handlebars and in the foot pegs, but it's quite happy sitting here. You can do this all day as well, no problem. Just not as comfy and cruisy as the V-Strom on the highway. There you go. So we'll go and take that same road, that same dirt road. We'll see how she goes there. I think that's probably for me where it will come into its own. So I'll hit you up when we get there. So I just wanted to show you guys in this one body positioning, like how my legs are. So this is the KLR. I'm sort of on tiptoes, but I can touch both my toes to the ground at the same time. Just to give you an idea.
The Kawasaki KLR650 might sit a little taller than the V-Strom, but that height gives you great visibility and confidence on the road or trail. It's surprisingly easy to control, even for a newer rider with a relaxed, comfortable riding position that suits long days in the saddle. The KLR is legendary for its toughness and reliability, a proven adventure machine that just keeps going no matter where you take it.
Same thing, sunny's on. Alright, obviously I'm going to feel more comfortable on this dirt because this is my bike, the other one was my dad's. And I've done some dirt riding on this already, which, as I said before, it impressed me, so already feel fine, nothing bothering it. Yeah, it's quite happy here on the dirt. I don't change the tyre pressures, it is what it is. So these are still road tyre pressures. But yeah, it's more than capable of dirt roads. To me, as I've said in my other videos, it's amazing how the KLR is fine on the road, and then you take it off road, and I've said it before, I just can't get over how it makes itself feel like a big dirt bike. It just gives me that confidence to start riding it like I'm on a dirt bike. So it's less of the road sort of leaning side to side to turn, and more of the get your leg out and lean the bike over and squirt the rear end out kind of thing. So yeah, we're out the other end. We'll do the same thing. We'll go back and attack it the other way. At the end of the day, the KLR is going to be better on this. the V-Strom's going to be much better on the road. That's what it comes down to, and really, you as a rider, like I said before, completely up to you to choose. Go and test ride both, because they do both feel very different ergonomically. You're sitting in very different sort of body postures and whatnot. But it's ultimately up to you and what you want to do. They're both good bikes, as long as you don't, unfortunately, you might buy a lemon. But if you just want that raw power, comfort, cruise all day and hit a dirt road if you have to, go with the V-Strom. If you're looking to really get off the beaten track, still do all the road stuff, just not quite as good, look at the KLRs. Check the balance, that's pretty good. So yeah, the balance will be similar. I think the V-Strom might be a little bit more balanced than the old KLR. But not too bad.
As you can see, the Suzuki V-Strom 650 and the Kawasaki KLR650 both have a lot to offer, but in different ways. The V-Strom 645cc V-twin delivers smooth, consistent power with a 6-speed transmission and road-friendly handling, while still being capable on light trails. The KLR 650 651cc single-cylinder, taller stance and extra suspension travel give it an edge when the terrain gets rough, making it a great choice for more off-road focused adventures. You've got more ground clearance on the KLR, a bit more comfort and refinement on the V-Strom, and both give you solid fuel range and proven reliability. At the end of the day, it's less about which bike is better and more about which one matches your style of riding. If you enjoyed this video, check out my Instagram and TikTok for more content, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode, where my brother-in-law Dave, who you might remember from early videos on his green Kawasaki, takes on a motorbike track for a lesson, and I'm there to capture all the action with some awesome drone shots. Ride safe, and I'll catch you in my mirrors.